without him, and it's only, determined by whether or not he signs, like that came off as very misogynistic to me.
Scarlett Bordeaux has come out and said it would not be fair for her and Karrion Kross to go to AEW right now. It wouldn't be fair for Tony Khan. But what's also not fair is the current claim she's making about WWE. Because you can call WWE a lot of things, but one of the things you cannot call them is misogynistic. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux have been doing what they've been doing recently, going on podcasts, talking as if they're big deals, talking about their new adventure, their next company, talking about where they're going to end up next. And Scarlett has said that whatever company they do end up next in will be their last, will be their forever home, and they will give that company 100%. And why are they looking for a new company? Well, that's because they got released from WWE. Now, while doing a podcast with Chris Van Fleet, they spoke about their exit from the company. Karrion Kross, pretty much, we kind of know the story with him. He wanted to stay there, but WWE just didn't offer him a new deal or a deal that he liked, a deal that he thought was suitable. As for Scarlett Bordeaux, well, it just seems like her deal was going to hang in the balance. Her deal was going to decide on whether or not Karrion Kross stayed. And if Karrion Kross stayed, then WWE would offer her something. And if Karrion Kross left, then she would get offered nothing. And she's come out and she has described this, she has labelled this as misogynistic, which I think is fucking insane. And I mean, we'll have a look at it in a minute. We'll look at the actual clip where she said this, but it's got nothing to do with misogyny. I mean, look at WWE right now. You've got, if anything, it's misogynistic. You've got Triple H coming out claiming that for every one good guy they've got in WWE, they have 5 good women. Even though you watch the women matches and you watch the women promos and you can just clearly see this is not true, because despite how much the men fucking suck, and that's a lot, the women suck 10 times more. To try and claim that for every decent male wrestler, you've got 5 decent female wrestlers, that's laughable. If anything, it's probably the other way around. I'd say for every decent female wrestler, you've got at least 5 decent male wrestlers, although I would argue the scale's probably more. Maybe for every 1 decent female wrestler, you've got like 10 decent male wrestlers. But I would also argue that in 2025, you probably have no decent wrestlers, male or female. But, you know what, I didn't think Scarlett Bordeaux was like this. I didn't think she'd come out and play the victim here just because she wasn't offered a contract, just because she was deemed to be number 2 in this partnership with Karrion Kross. It just makes fucking no sense to me whatsoever. But we'll have a look at the clip here, and then we'll dive into it. But for her to come out and claim sexism just because WWE valued Karrion Kross more is ridiculous.
Scarlett, where were yours?
So, after you talked to the representative of talent relations about your contract, one of the last questions before the 24-hour notice was given, Kevin asked if where I stood in all these contract negotiations, and they said, we'll get to her once we're done with you, which I took as them using me as leverage against him. I do feel like if he agreed within the 24 hours that they would have offered me something, would it have been the same amount as it was before? Would it have been less? I don't know. But all in all, it felt like a massive, massive red flag. And I did feel like it did come off a bit misogynistic, because originally I was hired before you.
Oh, yeah. In 2019.
Yeah. And the idea that I have no value without him, and it's only, determined by whether or not he signs, like that came off as very misogynistic to me.
So there you have it. Scarlett Bordeaux thinks it was a major red flag. She thinks that she was being used as leverage. She thinks the whole thing was misogynistic. Well, I think that Scarlett Bordeaux is full of shit. Now, if WWE want to think that Karrion Kross is the attraction here, if they want to think that he is the star of the duo, then that's absolutely fine. They're entitled to think that way, even though I would say, based on what we've seen throughout the two people's careers, that there's one here that had potential to be a star, and there's one that has been nothing but, let's be honest, an entire jobber in his career. But for whatever reason, yes, WWE, they ran with Karrion Kross as the big deal. They ran with Karrion Kross as the star. And at the end of the day, Scarlett Bordeaux was pretty much just his wife. Now, she might not like that. She might not like the fact that she is number 2 to him. But, I mean, when you look at OnlyFans, she was doing that, and then he was doing Twitch, and she was making like 40 grand a month, and he wasn't even making £1,000 a month. So, who was the bigger star there? You know, let's say that OnlyFans and Twitch were the same company, right? Let's say that they two combined. So you've got, let's call it only Twitch, right? So OnlyFans and Twitch become the same company. It's only Twitch, and their contracts with Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux come up on the same day. Like, who are they going to focus on signing more? Who are they going to put more effort into renegotiating with? Are they going to do it with the person that is making 40,000 and bringing a shitload of people to their platform, or are they going to do it to the person that can barely make $1,000 over the month?
I'm just sick of the entitlement, folks, right? See, I'm sick in this modern day wrestling age of just fucking flat out jobbers thinking they're worth something they're not. I would agree with you, right? See, Scarlett Bordeaux, if I was to pick who could become a star out the two of them, I would go with her. But the reality is, in 2025, WWE are not going to... Well, they're weird, right? They will half-exploit sexuality, but they only do it with certain people, like with their finishing move. But she can't work. See, in TNA, we've seen her do stuff with Scott Steiner. Oh, lap dance here, lap dance there. WWE's not going to do that. See, Karrion Kross, guy...
What do you mean she can't work?
She's just not a good worker compared to the rest of the women.
I disagree.
No, I've seen her matches. She's not.
No, I disagree. Well, I disagree.
So we're saying she's on it, on comparison with Victoria or Julia.
Oh, so you think they're great all of a sudden?
No, they're better than her. They're better than her.
So is that who everyone's been? Is that the measuring stick now? So if you're not as good as Stephanie Fakir, you're shite.
I'm not saying she's.
I can guarantee she's better than half the women on the roster. So I think for you just to say, well, she's not as good as Fakir, so she can't work. That is...
There's a reason WWE have went with her and not Bordeaux. Because they believe she's a better worker.
What do you mean there's a reason they went with her? Are you fucking retarded? What? No, hold on, wait. What do you mean? What do you mean there's a reason they went with her? What, they made her champion? They've not Scarlett work at all. You could argue that.
Why is that? If she was fucking good to have her work, wouldn't they though?
You could.
Why is she not working then? If she was fucking Kurt Angle,
well, B-Fab works and Maxine Dupree works, so they must be great. They get to wrestle. Alba Fire gets to work. She must be great. Piper Niven must be great because she gets to work.
Not everyone that works is good, but she must be bad. They view her as just better being a manager than working.
No, they don't. That's just the roles they put her in, but that doesn't mean that you can't work. Just because they've put her into this position as a non-worker, how does that mean you can't fucking work? You tell me that no good wrestlers have ever been managers?
It tends to be at a point in their career where they can't work.
Can Adam Cole work?
Well, what's he?
Can Adam Cole work?
What's he? I don't even know what he's doing.
Can he work? Adam Cole.
Is he injured?
Can he work?
If he's...
Can Adam Cole work?
But what the fuck does that mean?
Answer the question.
But what does it mean?
Answer the question.
Is he injured?
In terms of wrestling, can he work a match?
Yeah.
Right, well, McMahon didn't want him working. McMahon wanted him to be a manager only. Now, is Adam Cole the worst worker? Would he be the worst worker on Raw and SmackDown right now if he was there?
Wait, hold on. Where's this about Adam Cole? He didn't want him to work a match.
No, because you're saying because she's not working. Wait.
Where's this example?
But no, I'm telling you the example because you're saying.
When did McMahon say that?
When he was in WWE. Right?
He probably didn't want him fucking wrestling because he's shite. He's a fucking nobody.
So here we... answer the question. Can Adam Cole work? Because you dug yourself in a... It's not, because you were trying to claim, because WWE don't have her wrestle, that she can't work. And it's nothing to do with that, right? Some people, they just don't want to be a wrestler. Sometimes they look at a person and go, we view you as a manager. We don't view you...
Look at wrestling. Look at WWE, right? Name me someone else on the roster right now that can actually work, but isn't used in that capacity and just manages. No one! There's fucking no one!
I just gave you Adam Cole. I just gave you an example.
Fucking years ago! Yeah, what? Fucking now.
There's nothing to do with it. Some people...
Right now. Not 2018, 19 when Adam Cole was in the cup. Right fucking now. Who? Paul Heyman? Fat fucking Walrus Heyman? They obviously don't trust her to work.
No, it's nothing to do... No, it's not...
Well, why not use her then? Why not use her?
It's not...
Why not use her?
It's nothing to do with that.
No, but why not use her if she's so good? If you think she's good, why not use her?
It's nothing to do with it. Because they obviously don't view her. They want her just to be his manager. Like, why can't you grasp that? Why the fuck can't you just accept that here? Maybe they want her. Maybe they only view her as Karrion Kross as valet. Maybe they think she's got more importance as Karrion Kross as valet.
Nah, I'm not having that. She's no, more important. He was never on TV. He never did anything with the guy. How low do they value her if that's the peak of her importance? Being his valet when you've got people, as you've pointed out, like B-Fab working.
No, that just proves your point wrong. No, because you were trying to claim that the fact that she doesn't wrestle means that she can't work.
They can't use her strengths.
But no,
WWE's a PG fucking jobber product.
No, don't try and spin it here. B-Fab wrestles and she fucking sucks. So it's got nothing to do with, well, if you wrestle, then you must be good, and if you don't wrestle, then you obviously can't work. It's got nothing to do with that.
So why doesn't she work then?
Because I just told you.
Because she's better as a valet than working.
WWE obviously think that she offers more as Karrion Kross's valet than she does as a wrestler.
I think that's abysmal. If they actually think that, she offers nothing as his valet. What, coming up with a wee fucking sand globe? Wee sands of time? No, that's ridiculous. She just needs to fucking hold the L and accept that, you know what, the WWE view you as inferior to your husband, and that if they're not going to sign him, then they're sure as fuck not going to sign you. Oh, he's greeting. He's greeting. He's greeting. What's your point? Do you remember?
No.
Oh, he's lost it.
You just told me hit record, so I did it.
Right. What was the last thing I said again?
Oh, I just played it. That's twice I played it now. That's twice I played it.
What was it? Just to double check.
I'm sure as fuck, if they're not going to sign him, then they're sure as fuck not going to sign you. Which I totally agree with, and I was never arguing against that.
Right. Anyway, the sands of time have ran out in that wee debate. Just to clear things up, in my opinion, WWE just don't view her as an asset, right? And I don't even know what the fuck we're doing here.
See, I meant how pish it sounds now.
What? What sounds pish though?
But what do you mean they don't view us on it? They don't think they view Karrion Kross as one either.
Well, let's just get fucking... I'm going.
Or else he'd still be in the company. But that's not... The argument... No, the whole argument is that I'm saying that because she was a manager, that doesn't mean that she cannot work. You seem to think that, well, if she's... The reason she's a manager is because she can't work, and everybody else that can work actually wrestles and is better than her. And I'm like, no, that's not the case. For all we know, she doesn't... Maybe she thinks here, if I wrestle, then a majority of my storylines and works aren't going to be with my husband, and I would actually... Maybe I would just rather travel with my husband. Maybe she thinks here, if I work, maybe we'd get separated on different brands, and I don't know what would happen. You never know, you never know.
Right, moving on for that debate. Honestly, I'm actually sick of this. I've wasted the majority of my Thursday night talking about Scarlett, Bordeaux and Karrion. Two jobbers, right? You can put it whatever way you want. Karrion Kross, when he wore the gimp mask, her when she shaked her ass and jumped on top of Scott Steiner. These are two people that don't really deserve to be in the company. Like just alongside 90% of them. Nobody is going to lose time over them, and that whole gimmick about, that wouldn't be fair on Tony Khan because there's a wee bit of heat for us leaving WWE. What sort of mentality is that? Did Brett have that in 97? Of all these guys that jumped ship, Rick Rude, here, I'm not going to appear on Nitro the same night as Raw because, here, that would put too much heat on Ted Turner and Eric Bischoff. The fact is, guys, no one cares about these two. I don't care. I actually feel disgusted that I've wasted the majority of my night ranting and raving about these two jobbers.
I disagree.
But it's my opinion. Well, it's my opinion that she is
a shit worker
yeah.
who's worse than BFAB.
I didn't say that.
But anyway,
You don't have to be you don't have to be worse than BFAB to not be valued as much as BFAB by the company.
no, but because she doesn't just because she doesn't wrestle doesn't mean that she's valued less than BFAB. That is ridiculous.
She's released. Though.
Was Paul Bear valued less than?
I would argue.
Was Paul Bear?
If you're getting released though, right?
Once upon a time, managers and valets were actually really valued.
Yeah, this is 2025. Big
like when Lana was the manager of Rusev, I would argue she was valued more than a lot of the women that were wrestling.
There's nothing misogynistic about this, though, right?
We'll get into that in a minute, but just. You seem to think that if you're a manager, then you're not. I wish they'd have more managers. I think they need to bring managers back.
See, unless it's like Paul Heyman managing Curtis Axel, then that's like the only example where the manager probably would. Well, he definitely would get like contractual, preferential treatment compared to the actual wrestler. But seeing that,
that's not really a long-term thing. That's just a Paul Heyman's like, here, let me see what I can do for this guy, then give up after 6 weeks when he realizes
this is just her trying to like put herself over essentially. Like, they were using me as a leverage and portraying me as an object in this wee contract negotiation. But why would say she wants to be just his manager, or say they just want her to be just his manager. See, without him, she is worthless, regardless of what opinion you have there. Because if that's only what she wants to do, or if that's what they only want her to do, without him, she's rendered pointless. Correct.
Aye.
So she needs to shut the fuck up and hold the L and not blame misogynistic undertones, whatever you want.
I'll go into that in a minute, but let's just clear something up, right? You don't know the reason. I don't know the reason. Nobody knows the reason. We can't sit here. Those statistics, by the way, in that Scotland-Greece game are absolutely fucking diabolical and make me want to vomit. Anyway, back to the point here. You don't know the reason why she doesn't wrestle. I don't know the reason why she doesn't wrestle. I guess the only people that really know the reason would be the higher-ups in WWE, her and probably her husband herself. It could simply be, maybe she just wants to be a manager. Maybe she thinks that if she does wrestle, then that will take her away from her husband and they'll get to spend less time together. Maybe she thinks that at this moment in time she's better as a manager. She wants to be with her husband. Maybe her body's not holding up great. Maybe she's been hurt, has some injuries from her past, and now she just thinks, I'd actually rather take it easy and just prefer to be a manager. Maybe WWE think, we think that we've got a lot of women. We've got a lot of women in NXT. If you're on the roster, you'll kind of just be another generic blonde. Whereas if you are the manager of Karrion Kross, you can bring more value in that department. It could be that. Or maybe you're right, all right? Maybe they look at her in the ring and they go, you know what, we actually don't really see much. Which I don't think is true, because I think she's better than about half the women on the main roster. I mean, you can't watch Raw and SmackDown and tell me these women are great. You can't sit here and say that she's worse than Nia Jax or Tiffany Stratton or Jade Cargill or B-Fab or all these women that are on, or Alba Fire, all these women, or the women on Raw. I think she's better than, is she...
Where was the last match we've seen her wrestle? Was it TNA?
Probably was, right? Now, she's not at the level of a Charlotte Flair or someone, or a Fakir, or an Io Sky. She's not them, of course not. No one's claiming that. But I would say that if I included her into Raw and SmackDown, and I ranked all the women that actually wrestle, I would probably put her in the top half of the conversation. But either way, doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day.
So what we're essentially saying here is that if she is in the top half, she's shackled down by her link to Karrion Kross.
Well, not necessarily, because maybe she prefers that role, or maybe they think she's better than that role. I mean, who knows? Who knows at the end of the day? You could be a decent wrestler, but a good manager, and they might think, well, here, we would rather have a good manager than a decent wrestler.
Look at the Final Testament, right? It used to have 5 members. Was it misogynistic that 3 men went and she got to stay?
No, of course not. But like I said, McMahon believed that Adam Cole...
Give me Paul Ellering over her.
McMahon believed that Adam Cole was more suited to being a manager. He thought Adam Cole offered more as a manager, and when he brought Adam Cole up to the main roster, which he was going to do, by the way, he didn't want Adam Cole to be brought up as a wrestler. He wanted him to manage Keith Lee. And McMahon thought that was...
I know, but I think that's apple and oranges, though, because Adam Cole does not have the look of anything. She does have a look.
Well, either way, back to the point, right? We can sit here and argue and disagree over what she's better as, or if she's skillful or whatnot. Point I was saying, only Twitch, right? If she's bringing in 40,000 and he's bringing in 1,000, only Twitch are going to value her more, and they're going to care more about negotiating her with a contract. And then if they do get her, they might throw a little bone to him because that's her husband. Now, you move this into WWE. For whatever reason, she was the valet and manager. She wouldn't wrestle. She was only the valet. So therefore, if Karrion Kross doesn't get re-signed, then she effectively becomes worthless.
Yeah.
Useless. Because she can't manage Karrion Kross if Karrion Kross isn't re-signed. So therefore, it makes perfect sense, rightfully or wrongfully, whether you believe that he is the star of the two or whether he's got the most, he's got the highest ceiling of the two, regardless of what you think, based on the roles that they two had in the company over the past few years, it would make perfect sense to sign him first, renegotiate with him first, because if you don't get him, then there is simply no reason to have her. This is not like, it's not like they were booked as two individual. This is not like, for example, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, where they both have their own wrestling careers, but now we see them teaming up, and now we see them on screen together. With Karrion Kross and Scarlett, yeah, they were on screen together, but she was only on screen to serve as his manager. So therefore, if they don't re-sign him, there's no real reason to re-sign her. Now, you could argue if he didn't re-sign, then maybe they'd go, well, you know what, we actually will re-sign you, and we'll actually repackage you, and we'll have you as a wrestler now. But at the end of the day, that's all ifs and buts. You can only say that with hindsight. What we do know is, based on the current roles and the current positions that they both had, she was his manager, and if he doesn't get re-signed, then he doesn't need a manager, so therefore they don't need her. So that's the reason why WWE were trying to renegotiate with Kross first, and then if they do get a deal that's successful, then they will try and renegotiate with her. There's zero proof that they were using her as leverage. There's zero proof to suggest, well, we're not going to get her a deal until we get you a deal. That's not necessarily blackmail. That's just WWE saying, if we don't re-sign you, then there's no real reason for us to re-sign her because we've only been using her as your manager.
What leverage could they use, though, realistically here? What is the leverage on the table that we think could have possibly been used? Like, oh, here,
No, basically,
we're only going to give you a contract if we cut her wage down by 50%.
No, she's basically saying that Karrion Kross has been forced to. They're trying to force him to sign a deal, or else she won't be getting kept. But to me, that's obvious. That's like, I
know it is obvious, but the fact that she's so pissed off about that kind of. But if she wants her role, if she wants her role to be specifically with him, then that kind of tells me that that's not what she wants, because maybe that's what the company wants, and she's pissed off about that because that's the only reason they want Karrion Kross back. Then get her.
Possibly. Look, we don't know. This isn't the greatest example, but I mean, it would kind of be like if Taker's deal was running down and and then Sarah's like, well, why are you not offering me a contract? Well, because if WWE don't have Taker, then why the fuck would they need you? Kind of deal. So, yeah, listen, we could sit here and say whether it's right or wrong or who deserves the contract more, but I don't think it's blackmail, I don't think it's leverage, and it's certainly not misogynistic, just like it wouldn't be misandronistic if only Twitch decided that they wanted to sign Scarlett first, they wanted to renegotiate with Scarlett first. You renegotiate with who the bigger attraction is, you renegotiate with who can make you more money first. And see, I think this is why it's a bad idea to have like couples and people that are married or like tag teams or anything like that. I think this is why it's bad to like negotiate rather than individuals. To me, back in the day, yeah.
It's like football teams don't get a contract as a team. Individuals, and it's just but it's the same here.
Well, playing, she never got the same amount of money, but it's fucking apples and oranges. But I'm not going to compare.
Yes, but
football
that
to
would be
WWE,
no, but that would be. I know, like this is the same company, but that's. I mean, it's Juventus by name, but it's not Juventus by nature. At the end of the day, but see this, right? It just we've bashed this company, right? God knows how long and how long will continue. There's one thing they're not. Is misogynistic.
They're the opposite. I'd say they're misogynistic.
They are pandering. They pander towards the women. They push the women down our throats. Well, you see it. Look at Raw, man. 3 women matches in a row. They constantly get main events that they don't deserve. They botch their way through matches. They botch their way through promos. There's no punishment. It's just rewards. They are rewarding failure for women simply because they are women. And here you have one example where someone doesn't get re-signed and the toys get flung at the pram. It's actually embarrassing. Yeah. No, how can she? She doesn't fucking believe it, man. She's just trying to bury WWE. And see if I was carrying Cross, man. See if he was a real fucking man. He'd be like, how can you call them misogynistic?
Yeah, look at the women's movement that they've had.
And, maybe he says it. Maybe he says it right behind closed doors. But it's like, just look at the company, man. It's everything but it.
Yeah, I mean, say for example, when Ronda Rousey was there, let's say they brought her husband in, and her husband was managing her, and then their contracts ran down, and WWE tried to renegotiate with Ronda first, and then Ronda asked about her husband, and they said to her, well, we'll negotiate with you first, and then after that, we'll get on to him. Would her husband come out and say that's misogynistic? Or would it be a simple case of, well, hold on here, she's Ronda Rousey, she's got the name value, even though Karrion Kross doesn't really have that, but she's the star, and you're just her husband, you manage her, and unless we sign her to a new contract, unless she's going to be on TV, then we don't have a position for you because all you do is manage her. So it's the same thing here. All Scarlett Bordeaux does, for whatever reason, over the last 3 years, is be the valet of Karrion Kross. So therefore, if Karrion Kross isn't there, why would they spend money to have her there? Just doesn't make any sense. It makes...
But what is it though? Is it stupidity? Is it ignorance? Or what is it from her? Or is it just being a fucking woke feminist?
You know, maybe if she actually came out and gave a bit more detail, then we could look at it differently. You know, maybe if she came out and says, well... But I guess she's got no intention of signing a deal with her husband being there either way.
It's because, to me, it's probably because, well, she said it herself, it's her last deal coming up. I think they're going to sign a deal with AEW, and they probably know that they're never going back to WWE.
Well, let's talk about that quickly. So they talked about going to AEW. They said that they're friends with Tony Khan, but they said they've got friends in a lot of places, and that they can end up pretty much anywhere they want. Fact is, though, right, see when it comes to wrestling, you can say you've got friends in all these companies, but only a couple of companies really matter. WWE matter in terms of they're the number one company by name, and they always will be. AEW matter in terms of Tony Khan's got a shitload of money and can make you rich. And then, honestly, the only other company in North America, or in America, should I say, that have any sort of value is TNA. And even then, it's like, I don't think you'd want to commit your entire future to TNA. It's not a smart business move.
And also, the WWE TNA partnership, it's like you just bash the fuck out of WWE here, and what you're going to join TNA and get fed to the developmental brand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I think they're buying into it. Is there any concrete proof here that Tony Khan actually wants these two in AEW? I know there's supposed to be a lot of heat between Scarlett Bordeaux and what's his name?
Don Callis.
Don Callis, that's the one. So, not too sure what happened there. Not too sure if they could.
But
work
again,
together.
to me, that's just so fucking hypocritical. It's like all Don Callis has done is be accused. Same with McMahon. Tony Khan, like, blacklist
Accused
McMahon.
of what?
I can't actually remember what he was accused of, so I don't want to accuse him of something he wasn't accused of, but something sexual against Scarlett Bordeaux, put it that way. But it's like, well, why is Don Callis in AEW every week? with that allegation against him. But then, like, Tony Khan wouldn't dare go near McMahon.
I don't know. Anyway, I miss back in the day when people could hate each other on the roster, but they worked together, you know, and were professional. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened, but to wrap this up, who cares?
Aye, who cares?
Honestly, but Bordeaux and Karrion Kross are two jobbers. Nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't matter. Here, the product's that bad. They could have re-signed them. It doesn't matter. Honestly, could have re-signed him. Could have re-signed both of them. End of the day, with Triple H and Road Dogg and Michaels and the rest of them, Bruce Pritchard, that other guy, Michael Hayes, it's fucked. It does not matter.
Well, I think they should have re-signed Karrion Kross.
No, they should have, but I mean, we're not going to sit here and pretend that if they did re-sign him like SmackDown, they must watch. Nothing is.
Well, no, but I
They
mean,
could sign The Rock or Austin, and honestly, it would just they would water them down.
yeah.
Like, see him appearing on that Insane Clown Posse show. It's fucking better than anything he's done at WWE.
Right, guys, we're going to end it here. Fucking, this video was too long. Till next time. Peace.